Commander Amara Patel stood at the helm of the stellar horizon, humanity's most advanced starship, as it approached the coordinates where the alien signal originated. After centuries of searching the cosmos, humanity had finally received its first confirmed extraterrestrial contact. The message was clear, precise, and impossible to mistake for natural phenomena. The Keltharian Alliance wished to meet. Signal confirmed, Commander. Lieutenant Rashid Omar reported from his communications station, dark eyes fixed on the holographic display before him. They're transmitting docking coordinates. Amara nodded, trying to keep her expression neutral despite the excitement coursing through her veins. 20 years in the global space force hadn't prepared her for this moment. No one could have been prepared for this. Engineering reports all systems nominal. Chief Engineer Marcus Thompson called out, his Scottish accent thick with tension. The quantum drive is purring like a kitten. The massive form of the Keltharian vessel materialized before them, its crystalline structure catching and refracting starlight in mesmerizing patterns. The alien ship dwarfed the stellar horizon, making humanity's proudest achievement look like a toy by comparison. Incoming transmission, Rashid announced, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. A deep, resonant voice filled the bridge, speaking perfect English. Greetings, vessels of Earth. We are the Keltharian Alliance. Please proceed to the designated coordinates for docking. Amara stepped forward, her voice steady and clear. This is Commander Amara Patel of the Earth vessel, Stellar Horizon. We come in peace and friendship. A sound like chiming bells echoed through the speakers. Laughter, Amara realized with a start. Peace and friendship, the alien voice repeated, amusement evident in its tone. How charmingly primitive. Tell us, Commander Patel, how long has your species been capable of interstellar travel? We achieved reliable faster-than-light travel 15 years ago, Amara replied, a note of pride in her voice. More chiming laughter, joined by other voices. 15 years. Oh, you truly are infants among the stars. We mastered the complexities of quantum navigation before your species had discovered fire. Dr. Jasmine Rivera, the ship's xenobiologist, stepped forward. We may be young, but we've made remarkable progress in multiple scientific fields. We hope to learn from you and share our own discoveries. Share. The alien voice dripped with condescension. What could you possibly share with us? Your crude attempts at space travel, your primitive understanding of quantum mechanics, perhaps your quaint artistic expressions. For the next hour, the Keltharians systematically dismantled every human achievement presented to them. Art was simplistic, music crude harmonics, and technology barely beyond steam power. Each dismissal felt like a physical blow to the crew's pride. But while the aliens mocked, Rashid worked silently at his station, analyzing every transmission, every energy signature. He caught Amara's eye and gave an almost imperceptible nod. They were gathering valuable data even as they endured the humiliation. We will permit your species limited access to our outer territories, the Keltharian representative finally announced. Perhaps in a few millennia, you might evolve enough to be of some use to us. Consider yourselves fortunate. We rarely waste time on such primitive beings. After the transmission ended, a heavy silence fell over the bridge. Amara looked at her crew, seeing the same mixture of anger and determination in their eyes that she felt in her heart. Lieutenant Omar, she said quietly, what did you find? Rashid's fingers flew across his console. Their transmissions contained complex energy signatures unlike anything we theorized. The patterns suggest they're utilizing some form of dimensional manipulation, but far beyond our current understanding. Send everything to Project Ultrawave, Amara ordered. Dr. Nakamura needs to see this immediately. As the stellar horizon began its journey back to Earth, Amara addressed her crew. They think they know humanity's limitations. They think they can predict our potential. But they've made a crucial mistake. They've shown us what's possible. And if there's one thing humans excel at, it's achieving the impossible. Deep beneath the ice fields of Iceland, Dr. Ryuji Nakamura received the transmission from the stellar horizon. As he studied the data, a smile slowly spread across his face. The Keltharians had inadvertently given humanity exactly what they needed, a glimpse of the technology that would change everything. Project Ultrawave was about to enter its final phase. Beneath 3 kilometers of ancient ice, Project Ultrawave hummed with activity. Dr. Ryuji Nakamura stood before the massive quantum array, its crystalline structures pulsing with an otherworldly blue light. The facility, carved into Iceland's bedrock, represented humanity's greatest secret and its greatest hope. "Analysis complete," announced Dr. Fatimata-san, her fingers moving across holographic displays. "The Keltharian transmissions confirm our theories about dimensional folding. They're not just bending space, they're weaving through it." Ryuji nodded, his weathered face illuminated by the quantum array's glow. "They gave us the final piece without realizing it. Their arrogance will be their undoing." The project had begun 5 years earlier, when Ryuji's team discovered anomalies in the quantum field suggesting the existence of higher dimensions that could be accessed and manipulated. While the world celebrated humanity's first faster-than-light drives, Project Ultrawave quietly pursued something far more ambitious. Colonel Viktor Petrov, the facility's security chief, entered the control room. "Commander Patel's report has been forwarded to the Global Defense Council. They're concerned about the Keltharians' attitude." "As they should be," Fatima replied, not looking up from her work. "Any species that advanced and that arrogant is a potential threat." Ryuji moved to the central platform where the prototype stood, a device no larger than a shipping container that contained enough computational power to rival a small star. "Show me the new calculations," he requested. The holographic display expanded, showing complex mathematical formulas that seemed to twist in impossible ways. The Keltharian data had confirmed what they had only theorized. The universe had more than just higher dimensions. It had layers like fabric that could be folded and manipulated. Dr. Nakamura, a young engineer named James Wilson, called out, "The quantum coherence is holding steady at 99.7%. We've never achieved stability this high before." The next 12 hours passed in a blur of activity. Teams of scientists and engineers worked in shifts, integrating the new data into their existing frameworks. The prototype's power core pulsed stronger with each adjustment, its crystalline matrix beginning to resonate with the higher dimensions they sought to access. "Final sequence initiating," Fatima announced, her voice tense with anticipation. The facility's lights dimmed as power was diverted to the prototype. The quantum array's blue glow intensified until it was almost blinding. Ryuji held his breath as the readings climbed. This was the moment that would either validate their years of work, or the thought remained unfinished as reality itself seemed to ripple around the prototype. A sphere of distorted space formed, then stabilized into what appeared to be a window into somewhere else. "Dimensional aperture stable," James shouted, reading consistent quantum signatures across all monitored dimensions. The test probe they sent through the aperture returned seconds later, having traveled halfway across the galaxy. As the team erupted in celebration, Ryuji remained focused on the data streaming across his display. They had done more than match the Keltharians. They had surpassed them. "Contact the Defense Council," he ordered. "Tell them Project Ultrawave is ready for Phase 2. The Icarus Prime rose from its hidden hangar in the Icelandic facility, its hull incorporating technology that had existed only in theory months before. Commander Amara Patel stood on its bridge once again, but this time she commanded a vessel that represented humanity's greatest achievement. Dimensional drive spooling up, Marcus Thompson reported from his engineering station, now enhanced with Dr. Nakamura's revolutionary systems. Quantum matrix is stable and responding. Amara allowed herself a small smile. "Begin the sequence, Mr. Thompson. Let's show our Keltharian friends what primitive humans can achieve." The Icarus Prime's engines hummed to life, but instead of the conventional quantum drive's blue glow, the ship was surrounded by a cascading aurora of impossible colors. Reality seemed to fold around them like origami in the hands of a master. Dimensional transition in 3, 2, 1. Rashid Omar counted down. The ship didn't so much move as shift, the very fabric of space parting before it like a curtain. In an instant, they had crossed thousands of light years, emerging directly before the Keltharians' primary diplomatic station. Multiple Keltharian vessels detecting us, Rashid reported, suppressing a grin. There, they appear to be in a state of confusion, Commander. The station's massive form loomed before them, its crystalline architecture now seeming less impressive compared to the achievement that had brought them here. Alarms blared across Keltharian frequencies as their sensors tried to make sense of what they were detecting. "Open a channel," Amara ordered, straightening in her command chair. The main screen flickered to life, showing a Keltharian official whose multifaceted eyes widened in shock at seeing humans again so soon, and so far from Earth. This is impossible," the alien sputtered. "Your species lacks the capability to reach this sector." "Apparently," Amara replied coolly. "Your assessment of our capabilities was somewhat incomplete. We request permission to dock and discuss a revision of our earlier diplomatic arrangements." The next hours were a blur of activity as the Keltharian leadership struggled to comprehend what they were seeing. Their sensors confirmed what they refused to believe. The humans had not only mastered dimensional travel, but had developed it in ways the Keltharians hadn't thought possible. Dr. Nakamura, who had joined the mission, presented their findings to a council of stunned Keltharian scientists. The key, he explained, was understanding that dimensions aren't just layers to be traversed, but threads to be woven. Your approach, while advanced, treats space like a road. We've learned to treat it like a tapestry. The Keltharian chief scientist, a being named Vraltek, leaned forward in fascination. "You achieved this level of advancement in months, after one brief exposure to our technology." "We achieved this," Amara interjected, "because you underestimated us. Because you showed us what was possible and assumed we'd take millennia to understand it. Humanity doesn't work that way. We don't just climb mountains, we build elevators to the stars." As the demonstrations continued, the Keltharians' initial shock gave way to reluctant respect. They had dismissed humanity as primitive, only to find themselves faced with innovations they hadn't conceived of. But as the diplomatic discussions began to shift toward a more equal footing, alarms suddenly blared throughout the station. "Massive dimensional disturbance detected," Rashid called out, his voice tense. "Something's coming through, and it's like nothing we've ever seen." The very fabric of space began to tear before their eyes, and in that moment, both humans and Keltharians realized they faced something that would require them to work together or face extinction. The dimensional rift loomed before them like a wound in reality itself, its edges crackling with energies that defied known physics. Both the Icarus Prime and the Keltharian vessels held position as their sensors struggled to comprehend what they were seeing. "Analysis coming through," Rashid reported, his voice tense. "The rift is expanding exponentially. At this rate, it'll consume the entire station in less than 6 hours." Vraltek, the Keltharian chief scientist, manipulated a series of holographic displays. "We've encountered similar phenomena before, but never of this magnitude. Previous rifts have consumed entire star systems." "Previous rifts?" Amara turned sharply. "Why wasn't this mentioned during our earlier discussions?" "Because," Vraltek's multifaceted eyes dimmed with what seemed like shame, "we've never found a way to stop them. We can only evacuate and watch as they consume everything in their path." Dr. Nakamura studied the readings intently. "The dimensional frequencies, they're similar to what we see in our drive, but chaotic, uncontrolled. It's as if something is trying to force its way through from another dimensional plane." The station shuddered as another wave of energy pulsed from the rift. Emergency alerts blared as structural integrity warnings flashed across multiple displays. The evacuation had begun, but thousands of beings still remained on the station. "Chief Thompson," Amara called out, could we modify our dimensional drive to interact with the rift? Marcus's fingers flew across his controls. The principles are similar, Commander. If we could match the rift's frequency but invert the phase, it would be suicide. Vraltek interrupted. The energies involved would tear your ship apart. Unless, Dr. Nakamura's eyes lit up with sudden inspiration, we didn't try to close it directly. What if we created a controlled counter-rift, like using a controlled burn to fight a forest fire? The next hour was a blur of activity as human and Keltharian scientists worked together, combining their knowledge in ways neither species had considered before. The Icarus Prime's dimensional drive was modified, while Keltharian vessels positioned themselves in a precise geometric pattern around the rift. Counter-rift generator online, Marcus reported, but we'll only get one shot at this. The system won't survive a second attempt. Amara looked at her crew, then at their new Keltharian allies. Sometimes one shot is all humanity needs. Begin the sequence. The Icarus Prime's modified drive hummed to life, its energy signature perfectly calibrated to match the chaotic rift's frequency. As the counter-rift began to form, the ship groaned under the immense forces being generated. Hull integrity at 60%, Rashid called out. The drive is starting to destabilize. Maintain position, Amara ordered, gripping her chair as the ship shuddered violently. We need to complete the sequence. Just when it seemed the ship would tear itself apart, the counter-rift fully formed. The two-dimensional tiers began to interact, their energies canceling each other out in a spectacular display of light and power. It's working, Dr. Nakamura shouted over the noise of straining metal. The rifts are collapsing into each other. In a final burst of energy that temporarily blinded everyone watching, both rifts imploded and vanished, leaving behind nothing but normal space and a profound silence. Damage report, Amara called out, already knowing the cost of their success. The dimensional drive is completely burnt out, Marcus replied. But we're alive, and so is everyone on that station. As emergency teams began assessing the damage, Vraltek approached Amara. We were wrong about your species, Commander Paddle. Today you've proven that humanity's greatest strength isn't your technology. It's your willingness to risk everything to save others. The crisis was over, but its implications would reshape the relationship between humans and Keltharians forever. 1 month after the Rift incident, the Keltharian High Council Chamber hosted an unprecedented gathering. Commander Amara Patel stood beside Dr. Nakamura as representatives from both species signed the Dimensional Research and Defense Treaty. The rifts are becoming more frequent, Vraltek explained to the assembled delegates. What we encountered last month was only the beginning. Without combining our knowledge and resources, neither of our species may survive what's coming. The treaty established joint research facilities where human intuition and creativity would work alongside Keltharian experience and technical precision. The first project, understanding the nature of the rifts and developing better methods to counter them. We've identified similar dimensional disturbances in 12 other sectors, Dr. Nakamura reported, manipulating a galactic map. They're following a pattern we couldn't see before, but with our combined sensor networks, the picture is becoming clear. Something was systematically weakening the barriers between dimensions, and both species now realized they faced a threat greater than their former prejudices. The Keltharians' advanced technology combined with humanity's innovative problem-solving created solutions neither would have discovered alone. In the new Joint Command Center, Amara worked alongside Keltharian officers, coordinating response teams to dimensional incidents across the galaxy. The Icarus Prime, its dimensional drive rebuilt and improved with Keltharian assistance, led these missions, becoming a symbol of what could be achieved through cooperation. Another rift contained, Rashid reported, marking off another successful operation. The new resonance dampeners worked perfectly. Keltharian Battle Group 7 is already requesting the upgrade for their entire fleet. Marcus Thompson, now heading a joint engineering team, grinned at the news. Not bad for a bunch of primitives, eh? The Keltharian engineer working beside him made the chiming sound of their laughter, but now it carried respect rather than mockery. Perhaps we needed some primitive thinking. We'd become so set in our ways that we couldn't see new possibilities. In her private moments, Amara reflected on how much had changed. The Keltharians' initial arrogance had given way to genuine appreciation for humanity's contributions. Humans, in turn, benefited from the Keltharians' vast experience and technical knowledge. During a ceremony marking the first anniversary of the Rift incident, the Keltharian High Chancellor made an unprecedented admission. We have existed for millennia, mastering the physics of space and time, but we had forgotten something crucial. That true advancement comes not from age or power, but from the ability to see the universe with new eyes. Humanity has taught us this lesson, and we are humbled by it. Dr. Nakamura, accepting an honorary position in the Keltharian Science Academy, put it more simply. The universe is too vast and too mysterious for any species to face alone. Only by combining our strengths can we hope to understand and survive its challenges. The Icarus Prime continued to patrol the galaxy, its human and Keltharian crew working seamlessly together. As Amara watched her mixed crew at work, she realized they had achieved something far greater than proving humanity's worth. They had shown that the true measure of an advanced civilization wasn't its technology or its age, but its ability to grow, adapt, and work together for the greater good. As another dimensional rift alert came in, Amara gave the order to respond, knowing that this time they faced it not as separate species, but as united defenders of their shared galaxy. The stars stretched before them, full of both dangers and possibilities, but whatever came next, they would face it together. Set course, she commanded, human and Keltharian hands moving in concert across their stations. Let's show the universe what we can achieve when we work as one.